Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money podcast. It is Thursday, November 18th. And Mark, you will find that if you hit record, this show works better, right?
That's usually a good place to start, yes.
It's a week away from Thanksgiving.
1 week away. Hard to believe.
Oh, I can't even. What's on your mind as you are approaching the last 5-6 weeks of the year? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to getting our babysitter back.
Oh, what happened to the babysitter? The babysitter went away for a while, right?
Yeah, she's from Argentina, so she went back home for a while to see her family, and we got a few more weeks to go. Not that I'm counting the days.
No, not at all. Why would you do such a thing? I just want this whole year. It was funny because I was just talking to somebody who had a very bad health year, not COVID related, just a bad health year. And he's like, yeah, I'm just done with 2020 and 2021. He goes, I might be done with the whole 20s.
It might turn out to be that way.
So anyway, we hope that you aren't done with the 20s. And I say that it will be a very interesting thing to see how we all come into the post-COVID era and see if we just go back to the way we were, being dum-dums and not learn anything from it, which would be a terrible, terrible thing. I know I am taking many things out of this period that I have learned and what is truly important. So let's start thinking about that, especially as Thanksgiving's coming up. Meanwhile, this is the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. Today, we have a guest with us, one of you listeners who is willing to come on the air and talk about financial stuff. If you are wondering what the next best thing for you to do in your financial life is, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the contact button. We'll get your note and do tell us if you're willing to come on the air. Today, we have Trent from the great state of North Carolina, from the Research Triangle, live on the air with us. It's Trent. Hi, Trent. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Trent, what brings you to us today?
Yeah, well, my spouse and I have recently started new careers that pay a little more than we were previously making. And we just have some general questions about how to prioritize all these different saving goals, how to best pay down some student debt, and a question about what type of retirement accounts we should be contributing to.
Trent, how much are you earning?
I earn $71,500 a year.
Mm-hmm. Spouse?
My spouse is 36, and she's making $82,000 a year, with another $10,000 to $15,000 a year in bonuses that are paid out quarterly. And She just started her job like 2 weeks ago.
Great. So what prompted the big change?
Yeah, we were originally from the Bay Area, California, and we moved out here to just kind of have a more affordable quality of life, and decided to make some kind of career shifts. I was previously a middle school public school teacher for 7 years, and my wife was a nurse. Yeah, we kind of wanted to change things up a bit.
Wow. So you're making like 170 grand or so, right? And you're living in a lower cost area. So are you feeling like, oh my God, we're in such great shape?
Yeah, I'm feeling. So originally, that's how I felt. So excited. Then just I don't know. I think the realization of how much kids cost and childcare.
Oh, those damn kids! Stop it with the kids, all of you. How old are your kids? Or just one?
Just one, a 2-year-old.
So you moved from the Bay Area. Did you buy a house or are you renting?
We bought a house, about 2.5 years ago.
How much did you pay?
I paid $260.
What do you think it's worth now?
I don't know how much to trust Zillow and that kind of stuff, but it's about $345. Mortgage
that's outstanding?
The mortgage is a loan balance of $217 at 3.8%.
Oh, that's kind of high.
Yeah, that was another question, is whether or not I should refinance.
Do you like the house? You want to stay in it?
Yeah, I think we kind of have to. It's prices have just gone up so much, and
well, you don't have to do anything. We'll if you have a dream, we'll be happy to see if we can make it happen. Or alternatively, we might crush that dream. It's been known to happen.
Yeah, no, we're happy. We like the house.
If you are looking at this new careers that you both have, let's go back in time a second, which is tell me about what happened to the old retirement plans that you guys had.
Yes, just we have rolled them over into some IRAs with Betterment.
Oh, good. Oh, great. Fantastic. Previous sponsor of my other podcast. How much
Right.
money is in your rollover IRA?
So that one has 73,000, and that's a combination. I mean, most of that is rollover, but there's a good chunk of it that's just post-tax contributions as well.
But it's not
That's
in one
the,
account, right? There's two separate
no,
accounts.
it's actually one.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
Is that bad? I don't know.
Well, I don't know how you're going to keep track of it all.
I don't know. I thought it kind of automatically does that. Does it not?
Automatically is not a word that is ever used in this universe. Mark, what should he do to separate these monies?
You were making too much money that the contributions that you made to the IRA were not deductible?
No, I think we've always deduct. I think they've always been deductible contributions.
Well, if that's the case, then you should be fine.
Yeah, as long you said post tax, which was a
Oh,
red flag to us.
Because I was just looking at your income and I'm thinking, why weren't they deductible?
sorry. I just meant like after my money's been taxed, like I've
Oh, right,
put
right,
in
right.
money into my
But when you
account.
filed your taxes, you took the
Yes,
deduction.
yes. Sorry about that. Yes.
Don't be sorry. We're happy. Now that's much easier. Okay, we can breathe. Rollover IRA, 73 grand. That's Trent. What about your wife's?
And my wife has a rollover of 147,000. We both
What
have.
other assets do you guys have? Do you have an
Yeah,
emergency reserve?
yeah. We have an emergency reserve of about 18,000. I think we want to try to get that to 25 or something,
Hmm.
maybe 30. My current job, I have about $2,900 saved, and then my wife's got a Roth IRA of 11,600.
And each of you in your new jobs, you have you have 2,900. Is it a 401k that you're saving in through
Yes,
work?
yes. There was a Roth option, and I didn't start doing that Roth option, but I have. I switched to the Roth option a couple
Oh,
weeks
okay.
ago.
All right, great. Okay. And your wife does she have a retirement plan through work or
So
not?
we know that she's going to have one, but she can't contribute until March, and I don't know if it's going to have a Roth option or not.
Okay. Fair enough. What about any money for the 2-year-old kiddo? Any 529 money yet?
Nope.
Okay. Any other asset that we should know about?
No. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. How
Yeah.
about now let's talk about the debt side. What do you got debt wise?
The car, 4,000, 3.5%. So she just graduated from a program, so we are going to have about $42,600 worth of student debt
Hmm.
that will start,
January.
yeah, January, and we don't know what the rate will be, and I don't think it can be forgiven, kind of thing.
What did she go back and get a degree in?
She was a nurse, and so she is, and now has a master's of nursing, so she's a nurse practitioner.
Does she work for a hospital?
She works for a private clinic.
Oh,
Yeah.
see how I was trying to get that debt forgiven? That's going to be an expensive loan. It's probably going to be like 6%. How much money are you contributing to your retirement, and how much is she contributing to her? I'm sorry, she's got a Roth now, but how much do you contribute to your retirement account? What's the
Yeah.
percentage?
So we just started putting in about $1,600 a month between the two of us. A big
Okay.
chunk of that towards my work sponsored. I
Yep.
think 20%. I
Okay.
went from 15 to 20%, and then
Great.
socking away like 400 a month for her
Okay.
into her Roth.
All right, Mark, are you ready? You ready to start giving Trent what to do with all this? Oh, and let's do one last thing. How much free cash flow do you think you have now that you've got all this moolah? Okay, this 170,000. Tell me how much money you think is left at the end of every month after you do everything we've talked about.
Well, I mean, I think it's about the monthly expenses are probably about 7,000 a month without saving up without trying to beef up the emergency savings and without putting money towards other kind of goals like a house renovation or 529 or anything like that. So
Mhm.
saving towards some of those things, it would probably be like $7,800 a month.
All right, so 8,000 a month. Okay. And what about your income wise? Like once you've put in this money, so do you find right now that you've got some extra cash flow every month?
Yeah, not a ton, but I
Okay.
guess a little bit.
So you really think you want to do a home renovation? How much would it cost you to have that home renovation, do you think?
I'm guessing like 100.
That's a big renovation, dude.
Maybe, yeah, I don't
What are
know.
you thinking?
It's like a 900 square foot house, and we're thinking about having another kid in the next year or two.
I think what you should do right this second, Mark, how do you feel about a refi?
Well, I would definitely if he can. Yeah, I would definitely look into that. His rate is pretty high right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should refi, and I think if like depending on the appraisal, it looks to me like you can get a mortgage which would help you extract about another 60 grand from the house. Okay. So what you could do is you have like a $350,000 house, you'd get a $280,000 mortgage. Okay. And yes, that's going to increase the cost of carrying that mortgage. You're going to get a 30-year, you are not going to get anything shorter, a 30-year mortgage. Okay.
On the refinance.
On the refi.
Yes.
Okay. And from that money that's there, that extra money, which is again, I think totally depends on the appraisal and how this all goes. But you'll have $60,000 of a cash out. Now, of that 60, Mark, how do you want to manage the 60?
I would probably first beef up the emergency fund, and then I would go after those student loans.
That's what I'm thinking. So of the 60, if your expenses really are 8 grand a month, it's really, like you said, 7 grand, you must have at least 6 months of that in the bank. Okay. So that already means that you need 40 grand. So of the, you've got 18 now, you need to like top that off. That has to be 40. Now with the rest of the money, you've got a couple of choices, right? So, if we take 22 that goes into the emergency reserve, what else do we need to manage? Well, we could just, honestly, you could pay off the stupid car loan and get that out of the way. And you can maybe put a dent in some of the student loans, not too much, because I actually want you to keep some of this money on hand for this home renovation. But, if you think about it, that, you have 26 grand that's already accounted for. Could we, pay down 15 or 20 grand of her student loans? Why not? And then leave yourself some chunk of money that's in your home renovation fund. And now what you can do is your balance sheet's going to be much cleaner, right? Because it is going to cost you more to service this mortgage, but the mortgage will serve you well. It's a better way of using that asset. You will get rid of that car loan payment, which is some couple hundred, whatever it is a month, and you will start paying down your student loans aggressively. And you'll also have some money that's in your emergency reserve, and you will have an account started for the home renovation. And then you're going to have to reassess and say, what does our cash flow look like after we do this? Priority wise, what I think you're going to have to figure out is how much money can we allocate to each of our objectives. So here's our objectives. We've gotten taken care of the emergency reserve. We've gotten one piece of our car, of our debt. We get rid of our car loan. Now we're going to, student loans, house renovation, retirement, and then education. Those are your priorities. I would cross education off my list right now. And I would focus on 3 areas of work for you guys: paying down student loans, building up a home renovation fund, and beefing up retirement. Mark, can we do those equally? Can we do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or do you want to prioritize?
I want to get rid of the student loans. I would probably prioritize that.
Trent, how do you feel about that?
I like prioritizing. I mean, I don't like 6%. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's prioritize that. And then you guys have to pinky swear. And listen, maybe you get lucky. Maybe you have like an appraised value that's higher. Maybe they come in at 380. Who knows? Like such a hot, crazy market. Yeah. But I still don't want you to go too nutty. You still have to be able to afford the payment.
Right.
Right. And you still have to be able to afford the payment and not touch the amount of money you're putting into your retirement accounts. I still want you to stay with that retirement amount of $1,600 a month. Okay. But every extra dollar will go down to pay off student loans.
Got it.
Once you have that emergency reserve funded, it will make me feel better about going after the student loans in a more aggressive way.
Right.
And then once the student loans are gone, then you just put something else in the crosshairs. You can,
the home renovation fund.
Home renovation. You can maybe do a little contribution for the kids.
Right. So at that point, maybe it's safer to start the 529.
Yeah, but like, I really don't want you to make the 529 the priority because obviously
after all that stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
That sounds good. Should I be concerned about like one of us contributing to a traditional retirement account instead of a Roth in terms of trying to keep our income limits below the whatever 200?
Look, you're going to have a mortgage, which is going to keep you you're in the 22% tax bracket, top bracket. That's not going to change. Okay. You do have a mortgage interest deduction that's going to drop you down. So the highest tax rate you're paying is at the 22% bracket, which is fine.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
Okay. And then I read something about if you're making less money in a certain year, like I was unemployed for
Why are we making less money? We're just making more money.
No, I know, but like for last year, it was something about you could take advantage of those times to convert.
Yes, but we're not doing that for you.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Just start using the Roth. I don't want to burn up any of your cash. Every time you think about doing a conversion, which you should also be hearing is conversion / taxes are due.
Right.
So I don't want to use any of your available cash to do that right now.
You guys are so young. If you just start using the Roth options at work, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I feel so much better. Thank you so much, you guys.
Okay, wait. Let's see if we can make you feel worse. Do you have your wills and durable powers of attorney and healthcare proxies
on my list. I think we got to save up. I think we have like 500. I have a budget for it, so I think I have 500 saved for doing some estate planning. I think I need 1,500 or 2,000.
Let me tell you something. That you can use your emergency reserve fund.
I can. Okay. All right.
Just do it, please.
All right.
Mark, are we done? Can we let Trent go? Are we gonna allow him to carry on his life?
I think we gave him a good plan.
I think it's a good plan also.
Yes.
Do you need a plan? Then you just need to get in touch with us. Go to jillonmoney.com, click the contact button, and we'll get your note. And by the way, while you're on the website, you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. It's free, and Mark does it weekly. It's great. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcast. You might want to check out our sister broadcast. It's called Jill on Money. Mark Talercio is the co-host and executive producer of this program. We are distributed by Viacom CBS. We drop our episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do me a favor, do something nice for someone else today. And remember our mantra, curiosity, compassion, community. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.